In today's video, we're going to have an introduction to Wireshark. So let's have a look at what we're going to cover. First of all, we'll have a look at what Wireshark can see on your network, then making Wireshark a bit more usable, some of the setup, display filters using a protocol, and display filters using a text string. And finally, we'll have a look at the expert button. So what can Wireshark see on your network? Here I've got an example of a very small network with a switch and various devices, the server, end devices, and the device that I'm running Wireshark on. So Wireshark can see a conversation that you might be having with the server to the device that you're running Wireshark on, but it can't see a conversation that's going on between another end device and the server, or between two end devices on the switch. However, if I was also to have a conversation between the device running Wireshark and another end device, then Wireshark can see that. So it can see any traffic that's coming in or out of the device that it's running on, but it can't see elsewhere in your network.
If your Wireshark device needs to receive packets that are being transmitted between other devices, it is possible to do some configuring on network devices such as switches in your network to allow that to happen. But this requires access to those networking devices.
So let's have a look at Wireshark, and this is our virtual lab environment that we use on our courses, and I've got Wireshark as an icon on my desktop. So I'm just going to start it up, and initially it comes up with all of the adapters that are available to Wireshark that it could run a trace on, and it would also list any other files that I'd looked at if I had previously done that. And in this example, I've got an Ethernet adapter, and you can see a squiggly line coming out up here showing the traffic that is on that adapter that Wireshark can see. The other adapters aren't doing very much. Don't assume that if there's no line there, nothing's happening at all. It may be that there's only one or two packets and Wireshark isn't showing that. So these are called the spark lines. I'm going to double click on my Ethernet adapter, and as I hover over it here, you can see it's given me the IP addresses allocated to that adapter. So I double click. And this is how Wireshark will appear when you first start it. And you can see that it's got three sections. I can move them around. I'm just going to concentrate in the top one. And at the moment, I've got a nice screen that's showing just the beginning of the trace. But there is a button up here I would like to show you. It's called Automatically Scroll to the Last Packet During a Live Capture. And if I click on that, you'll notice that we've gone all the way to the bottom of the trace. It is happening right now. It's picking up all the packets right now, but they're scrolling so fast that I can't focus on anything. So I'm going to click the button again, and it will pause. And you can see that the bar is moving up on the right-hand side. So I'm still collecting packets. The other thing is that this is rather small, so I can't really see what I'm looking at. And there are 3 or 4 icons at the end of the menu bar, which can be used to get the formatting correct. So the first one, a magnifier with a plus, makes the text bigger. And I'm going to make it quite large because I'm doing a demo and I want you to be able to see it clearly. And it might be then that some of these fields overlap each other, so I can resize the columns. First column here is really quite large, so I'm going to manually move that, and you can resize any of them however you wish. Let's have a look at the columns. The first column is a number that Wireshark has allocated to that packet, starting at 1, and it's sequential. The second column is a time column, and Wireshark again is allocating a timestamp to the packet as it comes in to Wireshark. And again, that's something that Wireshark has done, nothing to do with the packet itself. We've got the source and a destination address, and it'll be the highest layer address that is available to Wireshark. And they are all IP addresses, so source and destination. The next column is a protocol, and it is listing the highest layer protocol that Wireshark can see. The next one along is the length field in bytes, how long this packet is. And then finally, an information column where Wireshark is trying to give you some information it feels would be useful to you in looking at each of the packets, like a summary. So I want to be able to show you something. So I'm going to go to a web browser. I'm going to search for systems and network training. And you'll notice that the name is snt.co.uk. And when I click on that, that name is used to go and get the IP address for the website to be able to load it. I'm going to go back to Wireshark and I'm going to stop the trace by clicking on the red square button in the top left-hand corner. So now, if I go all the way to the bottom, no new packets are being added. I've got nearly 20,000 packets here. And trying to find the place where I was looking for the website is really difficult. And I'm going to be here a long time. So I want to be able to reduce the number of packets I'm looking at. I'm going to show you two ways of doing that. One of them is to use a display filter. So next to the blue ribbon, there is the display filter. And I can enter in here a protocol. You can do lots more with this, but that's for another time. And the protocol that is used to find the name of the website you'd like to go to and match that with an IP address is called DNS, Domain Name Services. It's turned green to say, yes, that's okay. And I'm going to press enter. And you'll notice now that in the protocol column, I'm only looking at DNS packets. If I scroll down, I've still got a lot of packets there, and it's still going to be a bit tricky to find the packet with snt.co.uk in it. So what I would like to do now is another type of search. There's another magnifier, and it's called Find a Packet. If I click on that, I can select a string and type in snt.co.uk, and I've got a find button. So if I click on find, it will take me to the first instance where it can find that string. And that packet is in a slightly darker grey colour. I'm still only looking at DNS packets, and you'll see when we find that there are some other packets afterwards also looking at snt.co.uk. So that's where I'm starting to find the IP address for this website. I am going to come out of those searches. So I'm going to click on cancel, and the red cross in the right-hand side of the display filter, and I go back to all of my packets. So the last thing that I wanted to show you is some hints and tips for how you can find your problem in the network. And Wireshark has an expert information button down here in the bottom left. You can also access it from Analyze and Expert Information, but I'm going to use the button. Here you can see we've got lots of messages that Wireshark thinks might be things that you would like to have a look at. The ones at the bottom are less serious, and the ones at the top are more serious, and you can get red error messages that it feels are a real problem in your network. And you can have a look at those, click on them, have a look at each of the packets in more detail. But that might give you a starting point for where the problems are in your network. So just to recap, what we've covered today is what Wireshark can see on your network, just the packets coming into the device, making Wireshark a bit more usable so that you can see what you're looking at. Display filters using a protocol, display filters using a text string, and the expert button. If this has inspired you to start using Wireshark, you can download it at this website. If this was helpful for you, please do like it. And if you'd like notifications of up and coming SNT shorts, do subscribe as well. If you have any questions or you'd like to make a suggestion for an SNT short, please do add something to the comments below.